Hey, hey. The kingdom is the only thing that I need. I single like when I'm taking Visine. Matthew 6:22, the only thing that I mean. Holy Spirit in me, now I'm shining like a high beam. Haters watching cause they wanna be on our team. Monitoring spirits, time to activate the wide screen. Who am I to judge? Pre-repentance, I was not clean. My brother Tate said, please remove this eye beam. Demons trying to latch on, they are not me. Trust me, I know that difference, I am not green. We wrestle not flesh and blood, they are not seen. Time to push the button, know that time like a lock screen. Hey, Christ said that we a body, so we got teams. Time to detox the body like we got neem. This little light, I let it shine our praises. Time to aim his light at the world like a Glock beam. The state of Israel, like the U.S., we divided. Every single group in this truth done collided. Which Passover do we keep on undecided? Elders don't even keep it P like Taraji. Ain't got accolades in the spirit, but they cocky. Instead of inspiration from the source, they rather copy. Let's see who wear these fringes when the bullets get the popping. Who willing to die for this truth like Gaddafi? Talking about you in the spirit, you ain't locked in. Hey, some of y'all squares like what they boxing. Devil prevailing over who? What's this nonsense? Christ rose, break the whole game, they cannot win. Ruach HaKodesh is the breath, help me press on. Activate the armor of the Lord, put your vest on. Rock me in air mattresses get slept on. Hey, then y'all wonder why y'all out here depressed, huh? You got Pharisees out here acting less strong. Ticket competitions like, who got the best song? Who got the fresh on? Who got connection? Who got the real truth? Who got the text from? Who got the most wives? Who got the most high? Who got the spirit right? Who got they flesh gone? Hey, you should ask that, brother. Hey, gossip got y'all bent like a dad had, brother. Hey, sad fact, brother. Hey, yeah. Matter of fact, got the wisdom, but they're not a power. Matter of fact, can you not perceive the final hour? Matter of fact, is this truly how we rep the album? Matter of fact, ask Juicy on the internet, we getting laughed at. Chef, dog, I really want to spaz, but I'm past that. I ascended way past my past, now I'm past that. I smoke this beat like a spliff, let me pass
It's
that.
like flashing lights, but we the light of the world. You get it? It's like you're supposed to let your light shine. To shine is to emit the light constantly. That's what it means to shine. But in this community, man, it's like we flick the light on and off, flashing lights. Flashback to Caragua when I came in. I was blind to the game then. I used to think it was all love without a buzz to my name then. And then I learned how the game went. Niggas in competition, rappers in the truth all fighting for top position. I thought this was a ministry, really they gotta be kidding. Denied opportunity, they made me their opposition. All I wanted was unity and truly for people to listen. They gave me hatred when I gave them love and wouldn't do a record with me till I made a buzz. I started seeing Israel through different eyes. I learned rappers in the truth really living lives. But it's cool you got the people fooled, as long as you get your likes and 1 million views. I help brothers in real life and never made it news. There's no reward for the genuine, I'm living proof. Even Christ lost in the pick and choose. The people rather have a rabbits than the living truths. Not saying I'm Jesus by a long run, but I can see him crossing me before the song done. Don't put me with them dudes, we do not relate. I gave you fruit from my spirit, they wouldn't bust a grape. Name something that they did other than make a tape. Niggas left and came back, I never took a break. They want favors, I tell them yes like I don't know them. They mad light, but I don't trust them far as I can throw them. They say I'm one of the greatest, I'm already knowing. They sabotage when you're on top. Look what they did to Owen. Want me to fall to my death cause I'm fresh and my shooters is sharper than you can dress. Plus I'm handsome and don't make me talk about all the checks. My finesse got me all of the money, power, respect. My connects to the most high got me here, I must confess. It's been some things I've been feeling lately I must address. But it's better if I don't say it and you see it cause they cut through. And Wu told me way back, protect your neck.
Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Panyawa Al Yaka, Panyawa Al Yaka, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh. Yasha'aya Hawa, Yasha'aya Hawa, Panyawa Al Yaka, Panyawa Al Yaka, Wayasham, Wayasham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
All right. Shalom, yeah. All praise to the Most High. Here for another Sabbath day. Another Sabbath day lesson going out. Gotta give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High for allowing us to see this day. Um, because many of us haven't. Many of us haven't seen, you know, made it to this time that we even in right now. Whether we know of the people that have perished or whether we don't. So, gotta give the Most High the glory for giving us breath and our lungs to breathe and to do His will. All right, so you can go ahead, King.
Shalom, everybody. Happy Sabbath. Glad to be here. Glad the Most High giving us an opportunity again to see another day. Continue to pray, Israel, because hey, it's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things that we need to stay focused on and keep our mind on the narrow path. We can't get our mind off these laws. We came so far, so we got to continue to keep pushing. So, other than that, I got nothing else. Go ahead, brother.
All right, God. So yeah, man. Everybody, you see the title, right? So this is one of them lessons, man. I wasn't even gonna do this lesson up until like Monday, right? Up until Monday when I woke up Monday morning, I was gonna go in a whole different direction. But I end up having a dream. You know what I'm saying, concerning my son. Nothing crazy happened to him, anything like that. But for those that don't know, my son was diagnosed with autism around the age of 3, between that 2 and 3 age, right? So, um, and it just inspired me. You know what I'm saying? It inspired me to put this class together because my son, he's on a lighter scale of things. Um, but I know it's people that go through it 10 times worse. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely 10 times worse. I have a niece that's also, that's definitely worse than my son is. But, doing this lesson, man, I cried twice, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. You know what I'm saying? Most I'm willing that, don't happen tonight. But I cried twice during this lesson, just seeing the state of our children. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, they grow up to be adults and they live with this thing. And I usually don't hear a lot of people. I didn't even think about autism being a thing, until it even struck my son, right? Just being honest, didn't think about it. But I definitely know that it's people that deal with this thing. I know it's people in the truth that is maybe new to it, right? Or haven't experienced it, and maybe they will experience it. So that's what made me do this thing, man. That's what made me do this thing. So I got some scripture. It's gonna be quite a bit of videos. I do have some scripture, and I'm gonna start out with scripture. Oh, I gotta go back and share my screen. I'm gonna start out with scripture, right? Because at the end of the autism awareness, right, it literally says, who's to blame, right? So we're going to get right into it, right? We're going to get right into it. And we know exactly who's to blame, and it's us, right? We know that to be true, so we're going to start out with that, right? We're not going to be exempt from anything. So we're going to start out with Exodus 15 and verse 26.
All right. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 26. And if thou wilt diligently hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, and wilt do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians. I am the Lord that healeth thee.
All right, so the Lord said that if we, kept His commandments, that He would put none of these diseases upon us. We're gonna also get Deuteronomy later, where it literally told us that He warned us and said, hey, if you don't hearken, that I'm going to put these diseases upon you, and the ones that's not even listed here, right? So we're gonna get straight into what is autism, right? So let me go to the first, I'm gonna pull out the first video, y'all. Or actually, no, I'm gonna go to an article. I'm gonna go to the website. Actually, nope, Salaki. We are gonna go to the first video, right? So, gonna go to this first video, Understanding Autism. Why did that pop up like that? I'm trying to hide this thing. There we go. All right. Just let me know if you can't hear it. If you can't hear it, just don't say nothing at all.
Meet Ned. He's a 5-year-old. Lives in a house with his sis Queenie, his mum Liz, his dad Joe, and their pet dog Flip. Ned loves playing with toy cars, is a fan of cheese and sultanas, and his favourite colour is green. Green PJs, green lunchbox, green peas even. Green makes Ned happy. Ned goes to little school. His teacher, Miss Haggerty, is very tall with long red hair and a booming voice because kids can sometimes be really noisy. Some days, Ned spends time in a special classroom with another teacher, Mrs. Hogan. She's a bit like Auntie, but doesn't play with her false teeth. Ned gets to practice his alphabet and sounds, jump on the green bean bags, and roll green Play-Doh into balls. Ned loves being with Mrs. Hogan. Ned's 10-year-old buddy Jack thinks he's really funny and he tells really bad knock-knock jokes. Jack helps Ned when his classmate Tyrone decides to use his lunchbox as a footy. Not cool. For the most part, Ned is like the other little ones, but his story is a bit different because Ned has ASD. That stands for Autism Spectrum Disorder, a lifelong developmental disorder. Which means Ned's the same but different.
All right, and I do want to clarify something, right? The autism spectrum disorder, I can't give you the year, but it was just recently changed to that because it used to just be called autism, right? So the reason why it's called spectrum disorder because there's different levels to it, right? You got, of course, you got your real mild side, then you got your heavy side, to where it's even children that are nonverbal, right? And it could strike at any time, which is the messed up part about this thing. It can strike at any time. It could be, they might be fine when they're younger, and you can develop this when you get older, right? It's not very, very many cases like that, but it's definitely something that's possible, right? So it's called the spectrum disorder because it goes from level to level, right?
No two kids on the autism spectrum are the same, but there are some common behaviours you might pick up on. Sometimes children on the spectrum have trouble talking, playing, and being with other people. They might show this by not looking at you, avoiding eye contact, not smiling or using other facial expressions, talking over the top of you or being really loud when you need them to be quiet. Children on the spectrum sometimes like routine and repeating things. They might like to do something over and over and over again. Copy words and phrases, saying them repeatedly instead of talking. Repeat the same movements like rocking back and forth. Keep asking the same question, lining up objects. Be fussy eaters, only eating certain foods. Get upset if routines change, like driving a different way to school. Little ones on the spectrum might have more sensitive senses, like hearing, taste, touch, such as brushing their teeth, which to them feels weird, or too much noise, like in a playground or a big family group. Sometimes they might refuse to eat a food because it smells or they don't like the texture. You might notice these things a little or a lot, as early as when they're bubbers.
Grandma was the first one to notice Ned didn't answer to his name when he was a bubba. No matter how hard Grandma tried, Neddy, Neddy Bubba, Ned just looked away. Grandma also cared for Ned's cuz Billy, who was around the same age. After a while, Grandma was sure Ned was the same, but different. Why wasn't Ned playing peekaboo and looking at her when she blew raspberries? He was nearly 2, and Ned didn't goo or gar like the other bubbers and wouldn't play with Grandma, Billy or anyone.
Bubbers on the spectrum under the age of 18 months typically don't turn when they hear their name called or a voice they know, make eye contact, smile when smiled at, follow objects with their eyes.
And I want y'all to know too, I'm gonna stop it for a second. I want y'all to know too that these things don't mean that they are autistic, right? Because they're babies at the end of the day, right? So don't mean it, but it means that you should start watching out and looking for different signs, right? You should definitely watch out, look for different signs, and be willing to even ask your doctors, right? Don't try to hide it. Don't try to just be like, oh, it's all right, my baby's normal, no, right? Really pay attention, right? And one of the things that they mentioned was about the hearing, right? And that's definitely something with me. It's not that my son had trouble hearing, but he did have a lot of ear infections, right? That's another sign. I'm not sure if any of the videos mentioned that, right? But constant ear infections. You know what I'm saying? That's not normal for babies to go through. Do they get ear infections? Sure, right? But constantly, I'm talking about, it seems like it was almost happening once every month, as bad as my son ears was for a while. So that's another sign to look out for, right? Constant ear infections.
Reach out to be picked up, cuddle, wave hello or goodbye, look at you when being fed, make noises to get your attention, want to play with others. If you notice any of these things, it's important to see your doctor or health nurse.
Grandma had a niggling feeling that something was up. She felt it in her bones. So she talked to Ned's mum Liz, who cried and cried. Ned's sis Queenie was okay as a bubba, so why was Ned different? Did it mean Ned would never do normal stuff like go to little school? Grandma, Liz and Ned went to visit Dr. Sam all the way in town. Dr. Sam had a big smile, even with a room full of lots of aunties and uncles waiting and snoozing and waiting. Dr. Sam said all bubbers are different and to wait and see. But Grandma and Liz knew something was up. It was hard, but Liz asked Dr. Sam to do some more tests, and after Ned was checked out by another special doctor, he was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Everyone was real upset, but Dr. Sam said it was going to be okay, and it's good that Ned gets help as a bubba. The earlier, the better.
Getting help early for your bubba and family is really important. It means the earlier your bubba will learn new ways to talk and play and be with people, the better he or she will do at school and later on in life. You and the family will be able to learn new ways to help bubba at home. And your bubba can go to early intervention where they'll teach him or her how to play and be with other kids. They'll teach your bubba ways to get what he or she needs without mucking up.
Life's better for Ned and his family now he's been diagnosed and they're getting some help. His mum and dad, Liz and Joe, understand why Ned does things the way he does now and don't get so frustrated. Instead of Ned screaming when he's thirsty, he's learning to point at the fridge to show that he wants a drink. When Liz sees Ned start to line up his toys or start to rock, she knows something is wrong and can help make things right again. Ned's better at eating his food and using the toilet with a little bit of help. And Grandma and Liz are learning ways to help Ned sleep better at night. Then everyone gets some sleep. Every day things are slowly getting easier and easier.
In each state and territory of Australia, there is help and support out there for children on the autism spectrum and their families. Autism Queensland, Aspect Autism Spectrum Australia, Autism Association of Western Australia, Autism South Australia, Amaze Victoria, Autism Northern Territory, Marymead Australian Capital Territory, Autism Tasmania. If you're not sure, talk to your community health nurse or doctor.
Help is out there for children on the spectrum and their families. Look out for the signs, and if you think something's up, it probably is. Go see your health nurse or doctor and ask for help. Getting help early has made a big difference to Ned and his whole family, and it can for you too.
All right, so, right, don't be discouraged, y'all. Don't be discouraged if you notice something that's off, with your child. Um, because at the end of the day, the Most High says that we was gonna go through these things. Some of these things was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? My son didn't start talking till he was about 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? So definitely was worried about it. I had to stay encouraged. I couldn't show any signs of being weak. You know what I'm saying? So I would literally, my wife, can't remember if I told her or not, but if I didn't, she's gonna know right now. But I used to, cry when I was by myself. You know what I'm saying? I never really did it in front of her, especially when everything was first happening. Just trying to be strong for her, letting her know everything was gonna be all right. And sure enough, my son is fine now. He's talking. Uh, Definitely has some trouble learning certain things. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, he can communicate. And when times he can't, you know what I'm saying? And your child is having trouble communicating, be really, really patient. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll either get it out or they'll show you through action, what's going on. Right? So I pulled up this website, right? This is autismspeaks.org, right? And did some research on what causes it, right? So um, you can start at the top. Can you hear me, Mike Allen?
Slack, I have my mic mute. Slack it.
Okay, cool.
All right. What causes autism? Researchers believe autism spectrum disorder develops through a complex interaction of genetic and environmental influences during early brain development.
Mm-hmm.
No single cause of autism has been identified, and vaccines do not cause autism.
Right. So now they're saying that vaccines don't cause autism. They're literally saying that it's genetic and your environment is the thing that causes that, right? Now this is literally the autismspeaks.org. CDC used to say the same thing, right? But we're gonna, after we finish reading this, we're gonna see We're gonna watch a video and then we're gonna go to the CDC website to see what they're saying. All right. So go ahead, keep going.
Key takeaways on what causes autism. One, autism does not have a single known cause.
All right. So I would agree with that. Right. You can't just blame, the genetics, meaning the parents. Right. You can't blame just the environment. You can't just say it's just vaccines only. Right. It's not a single known cause at all. Right. For number two.
Two, research suggests autism develops from a combination of genetic and environmental influences.
Mm-hmm.
Three, genetic factors play a major role in autism risk. Fourth, certain prenatal and early life environmental factors may increase autism risk. And number five, vaccines do not cause autism.
Right. So as we can see, they literally, hey, it says that vaccines don't cause them again. It says that one more time. Right. So you don't have to read these. I'm gonna just show it. As we can see, these are some autism risk factors. All of these things listed here. Right. The oxygen deprivation from birth complications. You know what I'm saying? Your baby not getting the right amount of oxygen. Maybe the umbilical cord got wrapped around the baby's neck, during birth or while they was in the womb and they had to do emergency surgery. Um, right, very low birth rate. They didn't gain a lot of weight while they was inside the womb. Um, it's a bunch of different things that's listed here. I'm not gonna name every last one of them, right? But we see the things that's listed, where these things could come from, right? So now let's go right here to where how do genetic and environmental influences give rise to autism?
All right. How do genetic and environmental influences give rise to autism? Most appear to affect crucial aspects of early brain development. Many autism risk genes influence other networks of genes, increasing or decreasing their expression. Some appear to affect how brain nerve cells or neurons communicate with each other. Others appear to affect how entire regions of the brain communicate with each other. Research continues to explore these differences with an eye to developing interventions and supports that can improve quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
Do vaccines cause autism? There is no connection between vaccine and autism. Autism is often diagnosed around the same time children receive routine vaccinations, which has led to concerns
See that?
about
So
infection.
stop right there. So first you say there's no connection, and then you said it's often diagnosed around the same time children receive routine vaccines, right? So how can you literally just outright say there's no connection, right? Let's keep going because we're gonna get into it.
But decades of scientific research have confirmed that vaccines do not cause autism. In fact, vaccines play a crucial role in protecting children from serious diseases like measles.
Right, so we know for a fact we can do your own separate research on that, right? We know for a fact that these things do something to us, right? Uh, like when my son got diagnosed, it made me think back to when I'm not sure when you get those second shots. I'm assuming after 1 month, because I believe when you come out the womb, they literally give you a shot while you're at the hospital. I think it's the Hep B shot, and then I think they tell you to come back a month later, and you get those second shots. Um, and I think we got so it might have been a third time, it might have been around the third time, because around 3 months, your baby starts, laughing and making little noises and things of that nature, right? So it was around that time, around the 3 month that was the last time we got my son shots, and my son didn't come back the same, right? It was exactly how it was explaining in that video, where it was barely any reaction, the giggling and all of those things had stopped, right? After he received that last vaccination, because we found out about vaccinations then, um, and we got him waived after that point. But before that, when he got that, he had usually they get fevers, right? That fever will last a day. My son fevers was lasting about 3 to 4 days after the vaccine, and we was in and out the hospital for those 3 or 4 days, just checking to make sure he was good. But his behavior was totally different, right? So, do I want to read that? Let's go down here to environmental factors.
All right. What environmental factors are associated with autism? According to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, certain environmental influences may increase autism risk. 1. Advanced parental age. 2. Prenatal exposure to air pollution or certain pesticides. 3. Maternal obesity, diabetes, or immune system disorders.
Mm-hmm.
4. Extreme prematurity or very low birth weight. And 5. Birth complications leading to periods of oxygen deprivation to the baby's brain.
All right, so we see that they pointed the finger at us and say, "Hey, it's genetics. Uh, you know, y'all can get tested." Right? My wife went and got tested, and they literally told her, "Well, it didn't come from your side of the genetics, or maybe it came from the father's side." Just automatically just put it on the father, right? I ain't me, and as far as my family is concerned, I have a cousin, um, you know, and his family, the family direct family member was his mom, and not the actual father, right? Because we know that the father carries the seed, so on and so forth. Uh, as far as I know, in my family, we've had one child that had this autism disorder, right? And the doctor literally told my wife, well, it had to come from the dad, because it didn't come from you. We don't see nothing inside of it, anything like that. Now, the crazy thing is, we're going to see that, number one, they barely did any scientific research as far as testing these vaccines, and did anything, right? They just put stuff together and they just expect it to work. But they hardly ever really list the side effects. They don't tell you about the side effects. You can find out, you got to ask your doctor. Now that we have Google and ChatGPT, you can do research about the different side effects, right? We see here, not only is it just genetics, but your environment, one in particular, when it says prenatal exposure to air pollution. We know that this place, and no matter what city or state that you live in, country that you live in, Esau is polluting this air, right? He had pesticides on the different foods, trying to preserve the foods inside your grocery stores, things of that nature. But they pointing the finger at you, right? Let's keep going.
All right. Why is autism? Hold on. You want me to start this one? Why is autism on the rise?
Come on.
All right. Why is autism on the rise? Autism prevalence has risen due to increased awareness of autism, broader diagnostic criteria for autism.
Stop right there. Stop right there, right? So this is a big one, right? This is a big one. So this is why I say pay attention to your child and um, don't just take their word for it, right? Even when they say it, because they're gonna just say, let's say for instance, your child is 12 months and they're not speaking at all. They'll automatically diagnose them with that, right? Because there's a broader diagnostic and criteria for autism. Why? Because they're trying to catch it as early as possible. So just because they say it, don't mean that your child has it, right? It's just that they're putting them on the scale. That's why it's called a spectrum. They're just gonna put them on there anyway, right? We'll go ahead.
Improve screening tools and standardized screening process. These factors have led to earlier detection and more diagnosis. 1. Changes in diagnostic criteria. Diagnostic guidelines have evolved from the DSM-3 to the current DSM-5, broadening the definition of autism. The modern autism diagnosis now includes people with lower support needs who previously got a different diagnosis, who were overlooked entirely.
And I was for them doctors telling you, hey, don't worry about it. Ain't nothing wrong. It's too early to tell, right? They started getting in trouble for that, right? They started getting in trouble for just shunning you away, right? As we can see on multiple occasions, we've seen that uh, there's no connection between vaccines, right? So now, let's check this video out. Let me grab it right here.
Hit the books and
the CDC's new language regarding vaccines and autism. Joining us is medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton. Thanks for being with us this morning. So let's start with Health and Human Services Director Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He says he asked the CDC to update its language on vaccines and autism. So tell us, what exactly changed?
Well, a significant change to the CDC website regarding vaccine safety. So essentially on the website, there's a statement that says the claim, quote, vaccines do not cause autism, end quote, is not an evidence-based claim because studies had not ruled out the possibility.
Hold on, let me rewind that. What did he say? What did he say?
Autism, end quote, is not an evidence-based claim because...
Stop right there. It's not an evidence-based claim, which means they didn't really do a research. That's exactly what that means. They really didn't do a research, right? They didn't base it on the evidence from the vaccines or anything like that, right? This thing was based on just a visual watch. They literally give children these vaccines and they watch them and they determine that, oh, this child doesn't have a learning disability, doesn't have trouble with, progressing in his brain, things of that nature, right? And they just watch it. When in actuality, you have to know that everybody's body don't respond the same to vaccines. Everybody's body don't respond the same to different medicines, right? What one medicine may make one person sleepy, the other person be just fine with it, right? Prime example, me and my wife. My wife may take a pain pill, a Motrin, right? Because she's in pain. And she'll stay up. If I take a Motrin, I'm going to be knocked out. It's just the way that it is. Right? It's just the way that it is. Let me keep letting them go.
Studies had not ruled out the possibility that infant vaccines cause autism. Now, Janae, aside from the fact that there is a substantial amount of evidence that shows that there is no link between vaccines and autism, this statement is significant.
So, and I'm going to just say, he just repeating information, right? Because he's saying that is substantial, right? Which, if it was substantial, why would the CDC change it?
From the CDC, Premier Health Institute, leading a lot of public opinion. And it's a statement that is not based in evidence. There's no new study that shows any association between vaccines and autism. And Janae, in practice, over 5 million participants, that's how large these studies are, show continuously over 40 different states that there is no association between vaccines, and autism, and it's not consistent with our current reality. We're seeing a decrease in vaccination rates and a rise in the diagnosis of autism. Last year, half the states in the United States saw a decline in vaccination rates compared to the year prior.
Do you think it'd be fair to characterize that statement from many medical professionals as alarming?
It is alarming and it's concerning because it's shifting moms and dads who are trying to make this difficult decision and adding unnecessary fear. And it's so important for parents to understand that when you're looking at these options, the risk of an infection and complications far exceed the risk of vaccines that we use to prevent them. And your risk of exposure to these diseases, Janae, is almost certain. For example, this year we saw 45 outbreaks of measles at least. That's triple the number we saw last year. We're seeing rising rates in the country, 90% over the 90.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something about these numbers here. They all they do is just they stuff the pillow on these numbers just to try to get you to come get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? That's all they do. They did the same thing with COVID. You know what I'm saying? They plump up the numbers of deaths that probably didn't happen. Of course, I can't outright prove it, but we just know the wickedness of Esau. We know how they do. We know how they rock. We know how they gonna try to get you to get the vaccine. If they try to tell you that such and such amount of people died from it, you gonna want to try to preserve your life, and you gonna say, "Hey, they telling me that this vaccine worked, so I'm gonna go get it." So now they're trying to say that it's measles outbreaks all over again because people are not getting vaccinated like they was before, right? Okay, I haven't known nobody with the measles, but it don't mean that nobody has it. But again, we know what they do. That's it for that, right? So let's go to the CDC website, and we're gonna read exactly what the brother said, right? Because we're not just gonna take it just because they're on the news. We're gonna go to it for ourselves. But this is the CDC website, as y'all can see, right? So we see it's autism and vaccines. So we can start right here at the key points.
The key points. 1. The claim. Vaccines do not cause autism is not an evidence-based claim because studies have now ruled out the possibility that infant vaccines cause autism.
Mm-hmm.
Studies supporting a link have been ignored by health authorities. 3. HHS has launched a comprehensive assessment of the cause of autism, including investigations on plausible biologic mechanisms and potential causal links.
All right, so they literally CDC is kind of admitting to it has to be there's something there. It's the reason why they would literally change their wording from. Now we see that the one website is the Autism Speaks, but like I said, CDC used to say the same thing that vaccines do not cause autism. Now they're saying that it's not an evidence-based claim because now if you put that there, you can stop from lawsuits. You can't be sued for getting your children vaccinated, so on and so forth. Right? So, no, no, no. I'm gonna jump down because that's kind of a lot of repeated information. All right, so let's start right here.
All right. Background. It is critical to address questions the American people have about the cause of autism to ensure public health guidance is adequately responsive to their concerns. Approximately 1 in 2 surveyed parents of autistic children believe vaccines played a role in their child's autism, often pointing to the vaccines their child received in the first 6 months of life. Diphtheria, tetanus,
Okay, that's
pertussis,
two. That's two. Go ahead.
hepatitis,
It's three.
hemophilus,
Actually,
and
Salaki, hepatitis is the fourth one. Go ahead.
hemophilus influenza type B.
That's five.
I'm gonna just say IPV
It's the polio virus. That's six.
and oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's 6.
And PCVI,
That's 7.
and one given at or after the first year of life. Measles, mumps, rubella. This connection has not been properly and thoroughly studied by the scientific community.
See that? It hasn't been thoroughly studied. Right? So we talking about 9 different shots in the first year of birth, right? And you mean to tell me that vaccines didn't play no part in it? 9 shots for a 1-year old? That's crazy. And it used to be, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it used to be like 11 or 12. And they came down on it, right? They kind of spread them out some. But it used to be about 12 shots that a child would receive within the first year. It's craziness, right? So go ahead.
All right. The rise. Hold on, 1986, right?
Okay.
No, we already read that. Right. Did we already read that? No, all right.
No.
It's a lot. In 1986, the CDC's childhood immunization schedule for infants 1 year of age recommended 5 total doses of vaccines, 2 oral doses of oral polio vaccine, and 3 injected doses of diphtheria and tetanus toxides and pertussis vaccine. In 2025, the CDC schedule recommended 3 oral doses of rotavirus and 3 injected doses each of Hep B, DTaP, HIP, PCV, and IPV by 6 months of age, 2 injected doses of influenza by 7 months of age, and injected doses of Hib, PCV, MMR, varicella, and hepatitis A at 12 months of age.
Right. So we understand all of these different vaccines going out before you 1 years old, right? Or by the time you 1. Right. So go ahead.
The rise in autism prevalence since 1980s correlates with the rise in the number of vaccines given to infants.
So if that's not a giveaway, a dead giveaway on their website, right? It's not a coincidence that the rise of it, right, it correlates right along with the number of vaccines. It's a dead giveaway. They just don't want to come out right and say it because they're gonna lose millions of dollars behind these vaccines. So they want you to keep on getting it. So they're gonna literally say that it don't directly cause it, right? But hey, the rise of measles is going up again, right? It's going up again. So hey, you should just do some. We're gonna tell you that it don't cause it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just trust in this because you don't want your child being affected with X, Y, and Z. Go ahead.
All right. The rise of autism prevalence since the 1980s. Hold on, I read that. Where we at?
Though, right here.
Okay, all right, it's locked. Though the cause of autism is likely to be multifactorial, the scientific foundation to rule out one potential contributor entirely has not been established. For example, one study found that aluminum adjuvants in vaccines had the highest statistical correlation with the rise in autism prevalence among numerous suspected environmental causes. Correlation does not prove causation, but it does merit further study.
So if it merits further study, hey, more than likely, that's it. All right. So, let me see if I want something else off of here. I think that's all I really wanted because it's going into each of the shots. And y'all can come check this website out when y'all get time. You know what I'm saying? And just do even more research. right? That they may change something else and put something else on there. So now let's go into Esau, right?
Mercury is toxic to the.
Right. So we've seen that it mentions aluminum, and we're gonna go with whoever this former congressman is, right? So let's see what he was saying.
Mercury is toxic to the human brain, and neurological problems have been caused by mercury, and mercury should not be in vaccines. My grandson got 9 shots in one day, 7 of which had mercury in it, and he became autistic in a very short period of time.
So, first off, why is a child receiving 9 shots in one day? Right? Secondly, why was there ever mercury in there? Right? Because we know exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to control the human brain. Right? Which is the reason for the COVID shot. They're trying to control the human body. Let's go.
We had scientists from around the world. Now, I'm for vaccination.
Can you tell me the name of any of these scientists who claim this? Because they go against what every study, I mean, the CDC says this, Institutes of Health, all these studies say you're just wrong.
Well, I'll be very happy to provide those for you. I didn't bring them with me. But I can tell you, I was chairman for 6 years. 3 years we had these hearings, and we did have those studies. And there's no question that many scientists around the world believe that the mercury in vaccinations is a contributing factor to neurological problems. Now listen, I'm for vaccinations, but we need to get the mercury out of all of them.
Well, are you against breastfeeding a child?
No.
Now, I'm going to go back a little bit. I want y'all to listen to him because this guy, this other devil on this left-hand side is trying to go into something, right? And I did a little ChatGPT search of exactly what he's saying, and I'm going to pull it up, after the video, right? But listen to what he's saying. He's trying to compare breast milk, the mercury in breast milk to the mercury in vaccines. Let's go.
All of them.
Well, are you against breastfeeding a child?
No, of course not.
Okay, but you are aware that methylmercury is actually in breast milk that's given to children. And in fact, the presence of, if a child is only breastfed, they get more methylmercury than they would ever have gotten in any of the vaccines. You're aware of that, right?
Let me just say I'm not an expert on breastfeeding.
Wait, so you hold hearings for 3 years and nobody ever told you that there's mercury in breast milk?
We never talked about that. What we talked about was the vaccinations. Okay. And mercury in vaccinations should not be there for adults or children.
Sir, you're aware that the kind of mercury that was in vaccines, which is no longer there, is different than the kind of mercury you get from fish, correct?
So, all of a sudden, the mercury, he goes from talking to about breast milk to the mercury that's in fish, and he's saying that they're different, right? So, why wouldn't methylmercury be different, right? We're gonna read what ChatGPT said.
Let me just tell you.
Are you aware of that?
If you'll do your research, you'll find that any type of mercury injected into the human body can cause neurological problems.
Do you know what kind of mercury is in fish?
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, there's different kinds of mercury. There's methylmercury, which is what's found in fish, which in high concentrations is toxic to human beings.
Right.
That's not the mercury that was ever in vaccines. You are aware of that, correct?
Well, all I can tell you is that if you'll talk to scientists around the world and look at the studies that we had before the committee, you'll find that they believe that mercury in vaccinations is a contributing factor to neurological problems, including autism. Now, we're for vaccinations.
I know you said that, but a 2010 study by the CDC showed that there was no association between prenatal and infant exposure to vaccines that contained thimerosal and an increased risk for autism. In 2009, an Italian study showed that immunization with thimerosal-containing vaccines does not decrease neuropsychological performance later in childhood. 2006, the FDA concluded there was no association between thimerosal-containing vaccines and autism after reviewing evidence by the Institute of Medicine.
Y'all notice he ain't doing nothing but reading the screen. That's all he's doing. He's just reading the screen, right? He's a fast reader, so he's reading the screen right now. He's not looking at this guy. He's literally reading the screen. He ain't got these kind of facts like this. He don't know this. Not for real, but let's go.
The list goes on and on, all the way back to 1999 when we were holding these studies. The FDA declared the use of thimerosal in childhood vaccines poses no harm, and even out of an abundance of caution. They removed it, and the incidence of autism continued to rise.
You're a very bright young man, but I don't know where you're getting your information.
Well, it's called research. You could do it.
I did research. I did research for 3 years. Unfortunately, you haven't had the opportunity to research it for 3 years.
All right.
And I had scientists.
Here's the CDC. Quote, there's no convincing evidence of harm caused by the low doses of thimerosal in vaccines except for minor reactions like redness and swelling at the injection site. I got a list of dozens of studies. I could spend a long time just reading them to you, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. I mean, hundreds of thousands of kids have been tested.
I will tell you this. You did not tell me you wanted me to bring all the studies, but since you're such an expert on these, I'll be very happy to provide you numerous studies that show that mercury is toxic and shouldn't be in vaccinations.
All right. So, out of the horse's mouth, right? So before I keep going, yep, here we go. Here it is right here. All right, so you ain't got to read this, my God. I read this. All right, so I just asked the question, what's the difference, or is there mercury in breast milk, and what's the difference between methylmercury and regular mercury, right? So number one, or I'm going to start at the top, right? It says, sure, if we're talking specifically about mercury in breast milk, the important distinction is between total mercury and methylmercury. How mercury gets into breast milk. A mother can be exposed to mercury through things such as fish and seafood, certain occupational exposures, or environmental contamination. Mercury in the mother's bloodstream can then reach the breast tissue and potentially enter breast milk. However, the amount in the chemical form matters, right? Methylmercury is particularly associated with fish. When mercury enters aquatic environments, microorganisms can convert inorganic mercury into methylmercury. Fish then accumulate it, especially larger, long-lived predatory fish. Right? So then it says, scroll down, when a person eats contaminated fish, methylmercury is absorbed efficiently through the digestive tract and enters the bloodstream. Right? So this is why I do remember when I was younger, they say, hey, when you pregnant, I've heard people say don't eat fish and watch how much you consume, right? Because of this reason. But just think about this factor. Now, most of us that have children now have been vaccinated, which means we've been vaccinated with the vaccinations that had the mercury in it. I don't think they took that mercury out until around 99, 2000, right? That's when that mercury was removed from the vaccine. So that stuff is in our bloodstream. So now when we have children, we're passing it down, right? That mercury may not have affected us, or those vaccinations may not have affected us the way, you know what I'm saying, because our bodies fought it off somehow, right? Because the Most High made us special above all people. So our bodies fought it off. But now a lot of the people and a lot of the rise in autism is stemming from us, right? Because what's inside of us, right? And it's due to them putting it in us, but they don't want to, be responsible for that. So they, try to say what they say, right? So it says, a test for total mercury measures the overall amount of mercury present, whereas a speciation test can determine how much is specifically methylmercury versus other forms. Methylmercury is capable of crossing into breast milk, but blood and breast milk mercury concentrations do not necessarily correspond one-to-one because the body handles different mercury forms differently. Why this distinction matters for autism. This is especially important if you are connecting mercury exposure with autism. Finding mercury in breast milk does not demonstrate that breastfeeding causes autism. right? So the devil was trying to say that, hey, it's more likely that a child could get this mercury in him, through this. If your argument is that mercury is causing autism, then hey, it could just be coming from the breastfeeding, right? Well, guess what? If they weren't doing all of the crap that they was doing, you wouldn't have to worry about it, right? But it goes on to say, mercury is neurotoxic, is a neurotoxic substance at sufficiently high exposure, but autism is a complex neurodevelopmental condition with strong genetic and developmental contributions. Evidence does not establish mercury in breast milk as a cause of autism. Also, the presence of a chemical doesn't by itself establish harm, right? You got to check the dose, the chemical form, timing of exposure, and duration matter, right? All of these things matter. So before I go to any other videos, I really don't have to play this one because we kind of went over that already. So let me go back to the scripture because I want to go to Deuteronomy now, y'all. So instead of going back and forth on who's the cause for autism, whether it's the parents, whether it's the CDC with these vaccinations, we know what the curses say. All right, so Deuteronomy 28, start at verse 58.
All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glory, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy power, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and a long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, he will bring upon Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
See, it's the Lord that's brung upon them, right? He said in verse 59, it's a long continuance. So you're gonna have some people that never really grow out of this, right? And they never grow out of it, right? Because we're gonna see some. I think I got a video in here, if I did save it, where a brother literally was saying that, they can be, high function, you know what I'm saying, autistic, right, on that spectrum. They can be high function, they can seem normal, but then just out of nowhere, they're not as productive as they used to be or once was, right? Out of nowhere. And it seems like it's out of nowhere, but it's literally that the neural passage being blocked by something that's not allowing them to be as productive, not allowing them to tap in to a particular energy or a particular thought frame that they once had. And it could happen at any point in their life. You know what I'm saying? It can happen at any given time. We don't know, but we understand that the Lord is what brought this sickness upon us, right? So we got to understand that we have to repent and keep commandments in order for this thing to be right, right? So let's go to, just to prove that real quick, I want the book of Luke. Because we're going to see a different type of sickness right here, right? So let's start at verse 17.
All right, this is the book of Luke, chapter 5, and verse 17. And it came to pass on a certain day, as he was teaching, that there were Pharisees and doctors of the law sitting by, which were come out of every town of Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem, and the power of the Lord was present to heal them.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, the men brought in a bed a man which was taken with a palsy, and they sought means to bring him in and to lay him before him.
All right, so here's a brother that's paralyzed, right? So we understand in verse 17, at the end of it, it says the power of the Lord was present to heal them, right? And the part of them was the man in the bed, right? Keep going.
And when they could not find by what way they might bring him in because of the multitude, they went upon the housetop and let him down through the tilling with his couch into the midst before Yahushua. And when he saw their faith, he said unto him, Man, thy sins are forgiven thee. And the scribes and the Pharisees began to reason, saying, Who is this which speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but Yahweh alone?
All right, so the Pharisees trying to trip up Yahushua, right? But go ahead.
But when Yahushua perceived their thoughts, he answered, and he answering said unto them, What reason ye in your hearts?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's easier to say, Thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, Rise up and walk. But that ye may know that the Son of Man have power upon earth to forgive sins, he said unto the sick of the palsy, Say unto thee, Arise and take up thy couch and go into thine house. And immediately he rose up before them and took up that whereon he lay and departed to his own house, glorifying Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all amazed, and they glorified Yahweh and were filled with fear, saying, We have seen strange things today.
All right, so they didn't even understand what was going on, right? They didn't understand what was going on at all. I want to check out something real quick. I'm just going here. Uh, mm, okay, nah, that's not there. So maybe I'm thinking about something else. I think I am thinking about something else. But hey, all praise to the Most High, right? So we see that these things can happen, right? A man that's paralyzed, he's in his bed. It's no telling how long that brother was paralyzed. But at the end of the day, we see that you can be healed, right? And it's no different with any of these diseases or different type of whatever you want to call them, right? If you want to call them diseases, you want to call them disabilities, whatever word you want to use, it could all be healed, right? Through the power of the Most High. If the Most High wants to heal a man or woman, boy or girl, he's gonna do that. And I want to show something. I want to show something else, right? So let's go to the Book of Exodus, because with their expertise, right? And I got the air quotes. It's one person in the Bible that would have been considered autistic, right? And we're gonna go to it. We're gonna read it. We're gonna see why. Because that autism, a lot of stuff is at hand with that, right? The speech delay, not being able to articulate what you're trying to say, so on and so forth, right? So I'm not sitting there saying that Moses was autistic, but on the way that they have the scale graded today, they would consider him as such, right? But let's see how great Moses, because we know how great he was, right? But let's read the scripture just so we can see the comparison, right? So start at verse 6.
All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, and verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, either hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto the voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land. And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue.
All right, and of a slow tongue. So a lot of us just chalk that up to, oh, he just had a stuttering issue. And it wasn't just that, right? It wasn't just that. So let's get, I want to get slow of speech, right? So let's get this slow in the blue letter, right? So heavy, great, heavy, massive, abundance, numerous, right? Right here, number 4, hard, difficult, burdensome, right? So it wasn't that he was just stuttering. It was literally hard for him to get out what he was trying to say. Just like it is with a lot of children. We talking about the ones that's on the verbal scale, right? Because you have your verbal and nonverbal, right? So the ones that is able to talk, it's hard for them to get it out sometimes, right? It could be because of nerves, right? The nervous system is just all over them. You know what I'm saying? They may think that, hey, they asking me this because I'm in trouble, right? Sometimes I have to calm down when I'm dealing with my son, because if I'm raising my voice, it's putting him on alert. Uh-oh, hey, something is going on. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to. I can't think of what to say, right? I literally have to calm my voice down, calm myself down, grab him, hug him, and tell him, hey, no, it's all right. You're not in trouble. Just let me know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a question, if I'm helping him with his homework, a lot of times whether it's math or whatever, he's better at math than he is at any other subject. But even with certain math problems, I have to grab him. I'm like, hey, put the pencil down. You know what I'm saying? Hey, son, you super smart, son. I know you know the answer. Take your time. Don't rush. I'm like, you ain't gotta beat no clock. The TV channel, it'll be there. Just take your time. I had to grab him. You know what I'm saying? I hug him, and we get back to doing this work, and then as soon as we done doing this work, he give me another hug. You know what I'm saying? You have to, as a autism parent, right? You have to literally take your time, right? Yelling is a bad option almost in all cases, right? It don't mean you let them get away with everything, but that yelling, it sets off something in them, right? So when it says, when we was looking at the different websites, the environmental aspect of it, that's a part of the environment, right? Create a safe environment for them and allow them to get what they're trying to get out, right? So we can see Moses fitting this description. All right, so let's go back. All right, verse 11.
And the Lord said unto him, Who have made man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb or deaf or the seeing or the blind? Have not I the Lord?
See that? The Lord is letting him know, I know how I made you. And guess what? For the children that are diagnosed with autism, for the adults that have been diagnosed with it from their youth up, the Lord made you that way. He knows exactly how he made you. And guess what? He's going to surround you with the pieces that you need, right? He's going to surround you like that. So you got to trust in him, right? So this is what he's telling Moses. Now, go ahead, verse 12.
Now therefore go, and I will put with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send.
Mm-hmm.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. And he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well.
See that? The Lord knows he can speak well. Moses knows he can speak well. Right? Go ahead.
And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
See that? The Lord let him know, like, I'm going to tell you what to tell to Aaron. Aaron is going to know how to put the eloquency on the speech that he needs to put on there. He's going to make it all make sense, right? Aaron is your brother. He understands you. He understands what your issue is. So I just need you to say these certain things, and then Aaron is going to go forth and literally, articulate it in a way that people could actually understand and get, right? Without no questions being asked. But go ahead.
And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of Yahweh.
Right? So we see that, right? He had help. So I'm gonna go get some more videos. You want to grab anything before I go? Keep going.
Yeah. I was gonna save a little bit to it, but I also understand where you're coming from of dealing with a child with autism. My son doesn't have autism, but it has similar traits. My oldest son, he has 5P minus, right? Let me pull that up on my screen real quick. Let me share that.
Do it all automatically take mines down, or you can take it down.
Okay. So let me add mine to the stage real quick. Share the screen. So a lot of people may not know what 5P minus is, right? Is my screen being shown?
Okay.
All right. So I didn't know what 5P minus is. My son is 11 years old. We didn't find out that he had this type of situation, I say probably at the age of 9. Now, me and my wife, we seen things, and we know that he been through a lot as a baby. From the time he was born, his pigmentation was bad. It was like he had a lot of spots on him, like vitiligo, but it wasn't. They called it cradle cap, right, from his head. So he was losing his hair as a baby, and he had all these little white spots, and it spread it all over his face. Now, at the time, me and my wife constantly taking him in. Then we find out he had tongue tie, right? Because when we would feed him, he couldn't take the real sources of the breast milk. Cause my wife breastfed all the kids, but my oldest son, he couldn't get all the nutrients that he needed because he had this thing called tongue tie. So it's a little thing. A tongue tie is something that's underneath your tongue, with that little line that you have on your tongue underneath it. He had too much skin, and they had to cut it down. So they had to cut that thing down on him. So when they cut it down, they had to put certain, of course they had to put him under because he was a baby, and we didn't understand why he wasn't taking all the milk. So then he finally got it, so on and so on. But we know that at the time we were vaccinating him, and we didn't understand about the vaccination because, hey, we were taught when we were growing up, hey, they got to get vaccinated. We got to make sure they got their medical records, prepare them for when they get ready for school. We understood that, right? That's what we went by. and we wasn't in the truth at the time either. So, long story short, we just started seeing things that was just like kind of different. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't tell because this was my first baby boy, so I didn't understand it. So when I really picked up with my daughter, when she came into play, and we understood then, this is the time we came in the truth before she came, so we knew not to get her vaccinated. So when we seen how she was operating and growing to herself, we kind of like put two and two together. Like, oh, hold on, we didn't give her none of the shots. She never been poked with anything, but our son picked up a lot of the shots. Now I do have an older daughter, but she didn't pick up none of those traits. But from us getting educated, knowing what was in those shots and what they were doing, we was like, you know what, we're not doing that no more. So we still kind of brushed it off. We kind of still looked at it like it is a little bit something different about them, but we don't know. So all praise to the Most High. How we found out was a woman just called my wife's phone out of the blue, and she was saying that, hey, your son may have some type of disease that you guys may want to look into. And we like, what? Like, what they talking about? Like, say no doctors told us this. So, hey, we just like, hey, what the heck? Let's just go see what it is then. But we didn't think nothing of it. We just say, hey, this is what they're gonna do. So they said, hey, he could be eligible for disability. So we like, we kind of was gonna brush it off, like, man, he good, we was like, he good, man. We ain't about to let them say things of what our son has, and we know he may have a little bit of something, but we know he fine. He fine. So long story short, we just go ahead and we gonna see. Then he comes back with he was diagnosed with 5P minus syndrome. So with the 5P minus syndrome I just typed it in the AI overview just in case people don't understand it or never heard of it. It is a 5P deletion syndrome, also known as Cry-de-Chat syndrome or cat-cry syndrome, is a rare genetic condition caused by the missing piece of the short arm on the chromosome 5. So what it is that my son has a duplicate chromosome in his brain and a missing chromosome, right? So then it says it affects about 1 in 22,000 babies and is marked by a high-pitched cry that sounds like a cat. Now, when we heard that, we just thought he just had a little loud cry. Never thought nothing about it. Then these are the signs: a high-pitched cat-like crying infancy, intellectual disability, and development delays. So we did recognize the delays. We did recognize the delays, right? So, but we was thinking like he gonna grow into himself, right? And I still believe he's gonna grow into himself. Like, I don't put that on him, but we understand that's what diagnosed him with, right? So then it said low birth weight and weak muscle tone. That didn't fit my son. My son was real chubby, right? He was one of them chunky babies, right? Then it said a small head size. My son don't have a small head size, right? So he didn't fit that criteria. And it said a distinct facial features like wide set eyes and a small jaw. My son don't necessarily have that, but what he does have, like certain, it also does affect your mouth, your teeth. So you get ingrown teeth that you have to be on top of these things. So me and my wife, we be on it. We got to make sure we take care of these things. But I understand when you're dealing with these with these situations as a parent, it's not the easiest thing. Like, patience is your best weapon because you're so quick to lose patience, and you sometimes forget that they are battling with these things because you don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand why, and you don't remember sometimes because when you see your child, they're normal, right? I look at my son, he's normal, ain't nothing wrong with him, right? No matter what the doctors and them say, right? But we ain't stupid. We do see certain things that's not like normal that we kind of look at it on the everyday what a child to do. But whatever he brings to the table, this is what we accept. That's what makes him normal in our eyes. And yes, he has a disability of learning, right? His learning is not as quick like an average or someone else's child that may pick up quicker. We know that a lot of the children that we have in our home, they pick up a lot faster. So he's 11, but his mind thinks as an 8-year-old. He's maybe about 3 or 4 years behind, right? So I'm thankful that the Most High has given me my son, and I appreciate that wholeheartedly that the Most High made him for who he is. Because one thing I can say about my son, he may have a delay in the knowledge of these school books, or he may have a delay of counting numbers. He may have a delay in those things. But one thing I can tell you, when the Most High put a spirit on certain children or on certain people, that's something that the man or their test cannot beat. Because my son, he knows how to read very well, and he picks up the commandments and the laws of reading, and when I teach him, he has a better understanding. And where does that come from? Because that's the spirit of the Most High. Just like what he just read in the book of with Moses, right? He just said that I created you. I know that you can't talk well. And I look at that right there as I know that he knows my son is different, but he put a spirit in my son to have a joy of the Most High in him. That's why it's a blessing when we do have different thinkings, how they move, because they're special. They move different. They think different, right? They praise the Most High different. We sometimes want our child to do things that we want them to do, but that's not the spirit he put on every child when your child dealing with autism or when your child dealing with a 5P minus syndrome, right? Or your child dealing with any kind of disease. The Most High put a spirit that no man can take away or duplicate or even change the fact that your child has the strong spirit. You raise your children in this truth, guaranteed. If the child receives it, it's going to be brighter than we ever thought the child would be. Because these suckers out here that put these things in these children, they try to dumb our children down and try to destroy them. But you can't beat the spirit of the Most High.
That's right.
That's what you can't do. You can try to kill us. You can say we got all these diseases. You can say that our child is going to grow up to be nothing. They're going to be this. They're going to always need to be taken care of. So the hell what? Because I know who got my son. I know who got your son, brother. It's the Most High. And as long as us brothers right here stay strong and stay in this truth and feed our children to the best of our knowledge, and it's nothing that these doctors or anyone can say about these children, because our children is going to grow up in the spirit of the Most High. I'm sick of these damn devils. I hate them for all my heart because I know what they do to try to destroy our children. I hate them with perfect hatred because I hate the fact that they think that our children ain't going to be nothing. But all glory and honor to the Most High that our children is in this truth. That's all praise to the Most High. And I'm glad my son is in the truth, and I'm glad I learned this in the truth. Because I'll be honest with you. Because if I wasn't in the truth and I heard someone messing with my son, I swear I would be locked up. But as long as I know I'm in this truth, it gives me patience to understand, to even educate people. Hey, don't talk to him like that. He has this. So deal with him different. Don't do that, because it's not that hard to pull a plug and go ham. But I don't want to hold up. I just wanted to throw that, brother. So,
Hey, all praises, man. All praises. Right? So we're gonna get back to a few videos, right? Especially with that same passion, man. Let me do that.
you need me to remove my screen?
I did it. I did it already.
That kind.
All right, so let's go to Facebook, right? So boom. Where do I want to start, right? So I saved a bunch of them. Saved a bunch of them, right? So let's start. Let's start here. turn this up. Start it over, right?
Autism is not intellectual disability, by the way. I want Chicago parents to understand autism
screen
is
not
not
sharing the bot.
intellectual disability.
Ah,
The screen not sharing. Let me add it to the stage.
I thought I
All
did
right.
it.
I added to the stage though. I did add it to the stage.
Okay, come. So let me start it over again.
Autism is not intellectual disability, by the way. I want Chicago parents to understand autism is not intellectual disability. Intellectual disability is intelligence and cognition. Autism is communications. An autistic child is impaired in their ability to communicate with others, spoken or nonverbal.
Yeah.
In other words, let's say you got a 3-year-old nephew, right?
Yeah.
He doing something he don't got no business doing. You can give him a look and he know auntie want me to stop, right?
Right.
Autistic kid, give him the same look, he gonna laugh in your face. He don't know that that look means stop. You follow me?
Yeah.
They are impaired in their ability to communicate verbally and non-verbally. But they're some of the most intelligent children you'll ever. The highest IQ scores I've got.
Right, and that's 100% true. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, Mike Allah, you know what I'm saying? D-Man is an excellent reader. You know what I'm saying? DJ, his strong suit is math, right? You know, mainly addition, subtraction. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working on him with the timetables, but he's even getting that. You know what I'm saying? I literally take my time to figure out a way to teach it to him. His thing is numbers. You know what I'm saying? Which is a testament to the Most High because math has always been my favorite subject. You know what I'm saying? From a child on up, I always just had the mindset of you not finna cheat me out my money. No way, no how. I don't know how to use these numbers. And he put that same spirit on my son. You know what I'm saying? So just because they have these different things don't mean that they can't learn. It's just certain things that they can't do. You know what I'm saying? They can't sometimes they can't communicate. You know, sometimes they can't sometimes they are communicating, you just not listening. And what I mean by that is I ain't just talking about with your mouth, right? Talking about what you see. Because their action is communication as well. Right?
I've been a school psychologist, certified school psychologist for 25 years, right? The highest IQ scores I've gotten were from autistic kids.
Yeah.
If I give you about 12 highest IQs, 6, 7 were autism. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could be autistic and mentally gifted. You could be autistic and intellectually disabled.
Yeah.
You could be autistic and be average. The reason I want Chicago parents to understand this is because your school district is notorious for putting autistic black boys in classes for life skills kids. Life skills special ed is for kids who are intellectually disabled. But what they'll do in Chicago, they'll do it in Philly, they'll do it anywhere. If you let them get away with it, they'll take an autistic kid and put him with the intellectually disabled because they don't want to pay for another autistic teacher.
Yeah. They don't give a damn about our children. So this is why we got to take the time and literally teach them, right? That means we got to go to work 40 plus hours a week. We got to come home. We got to literally sit down with the child. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want to definitely get a shout out to my wife. She be on my head about it too. You know what I'm saying? Because I do be tired. Some of it I be a little lazy. But she takes the time to get flashcards. You know what I'm saying? Sit down. She take old math problems, the things that we had, sheets and papers that he had from the previous school year. Sit there, do the math problems, even in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because she wants and I want my son to literally grow. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to do things, learning how to read, knowing what words to do. Right now, what I do notice about him, his memory is excellent. Right? He may not understand how to sound words out, but he reads based off memory. Right? And if a word looks like another word, he'll take it and apply like the word, for instance, take and make. Right? I never taught him those words. I told him what the word said. Right? He seen make, and then he seen it with a T. Right? And he just pronounced it just based off that. So sometimes you gotta meet your child where they at and understand how they're learning. Right now, he's reading based off memory, but it's gonna come a time to where he's able to sound these things out, just like we were taught. You know what I'm saying? So we got to take the time out to do this. Now, just like he said, they're not hiring any other extra teachers. You know what I'm saying? They not hiring. We have, and this is why I miss his old school, right? I can't think of the sister name that was always helping DJ out. Maybe my wife remember. I don't know. I'm not positive, but she was like, you can tell that she actually cared, right? Now in this new school, I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm not getting the same kind of vibes. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they mistreating them or anything like that, but that same type of level of careness, it's literally hard to find somebody that you trust with your children, even if they just, quote unquote regular children, but especially the ones that have different issues. It's 10 times harder to trust them around people, right? Harder to leave them inside their school. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they're not able to communicate like the other kids. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's definitely a time, right?
Hey, real quick, I understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why we had to bring our kids to homeschool because yeah, did he get good care in the IUPs and all that? Yeah, they did. It's always like a certain teacher that will really dedicate themselves for your child to learn, you know. So but you don't get that with every teacher. You know what I'm saying? So even homeschooling, I'll be honest with you, like those teachers, they just there for a paycheck. No, they there to show themselves on the live screen, but they don't really care to teach. And I be listening. I sometimes be far away listening just to see how the teachers react because my son may not know the answer or whatever. And when he do know the answer or he wants to raise his hand, I see how some of them be where they don't want to answer him because they think he got the wrong answer. So, you know, as a parent, you definitely have to stay in the spirit because the system is rigged to make your child feel less confidence of themselves, right? So as us parents, especially those that's in the truth, we have to build them up with confidence. So with all my kids, every single one of them, it may come out boastful how I deal with my children, but really I am putting so much confidence in them. I want them not to fear nothing. I embrace I embrace how they approach things. So what I do, I'm like, you can do it. I know you got to do it. I do it in a winning way, like you gotta win, but I do it in a way of to build their confidence up, because that's how they know. Oh, I can do it. I can do it. So they do it. And when they do it, it's all because of the Most High. It's always building up the children. Let them be confident. Because these schools, these students around them, they're not gonna build your child up. They're gonna tear them down. You may get a few in the class that's gonna understand. But when my son was at school, he was being torn down. And there's been times where it's like, man, they're gonna put cuffs on me. They're gonna put cuffs on me. But for not to put cuffs on me, take them out of the school. Now we can deal with them. I land there. Go ahead.
Okay. Right, and that's definitely a testament. You got to put that confidence in them, man. You got to, like, every small win. You having them spell something. They spell it right. Hey, celebrate it.
God.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta say every little thing. I don't care if it's spelling the word not or two, like the number
Right.
two. It don't matter. You celebrate them, high five them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna encourage them to keep going.
Okay.
They may not get that. I'm not saying what they do inside the school or not. They may not get that in school. They may not get the high fives and the excitement and the joy and things like that. But you as the parent, you got to give that.
Okay.
Us in this truth, you know what I'm saying? Whether we be at Bible study, whether the fun days that we, put together for the kids, we celebrate everything that they do. Give all of them a high five, letting them know, hey, y'all all did good. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? It ain't no one person above the other.
Okay.
Now let's keep going.
If your child is the only autistic kid in that school, the principal going to say, I'm not going to hire no teacher just to teach no one kid or two kids or three kids. I'm going to sneak him in the life skills kids with the intellectually disabled kids, formerly called retarded, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave him in there and hope his parents never realize what I'm doing. And they get away with it all the time because parents don't know autism ain't got nothing to do with intellectual disability.
Okay. Right. So let's go. Let's get some more, man. I skipped that. I skipped that. Right. So let's go to this brother. Right. This is a young man as an adult. Right. Let's watch this. Let me pause it. Turn the volume up. All right.
So where are you headed to?
I'm heading to the Hollywood holiday party.
Really? Who's the party for?
It's for the co-workers.
Okay, so you're going to a party for your job?
Yeah.
All right, what do you plan on doing?
Well, while I'm at the party, I'm going to be dancing and have fun with the others.
Okay, have a great time.
I've worked with hundreds of autistic patients and so many parents who've had autistic kids, and I wish I could show each and every single one of them this video. This video is remarkable because a lot of people think that just because you have autism, you're cooked. You can't have a fulfilling job. You can't have a fulfilling relationship. You are going to be homebound and you can't do anything without any type of help from anybody. And that's absolutely not true. So first of all, I do want to say that Dr. Danette Taylor is the one who made this original video. Go follow her on TikTok and everywhere else where she posts content. Her son's name is Q. He's 24 years old. He has autism and a language disorder. Apparently, he was nonverbal. So you saw him in the video. He was talking and he was communicating very well. I think he was doing a great job. I have to explain to people that autism means that the way that you communicate with the world is different from how a neurotypical person would communicate with the world. And obviously, when we have breakdowns of communication, we're going to have some issues. It's almost like we're speaking two different languages. So if you can't understand what somebody's trying to say, and they are having a hard time conveying what they're trying to say to you, of course you're going to get frustrated. You're going to be upset. You're going to get anxious. And the highest level of anxiety is agitation. This is why we see a lot of autistic kids who, during meal times, they're having these temper tantrums, or at school they're getting into fights. It's not because they're aggressive. It's mainly because they're having a hard time communicating what they're trying to say. And especially if you're nonverbal, we're going to have to communicate with, pointing and gestures and, our eyes and body language. For a lot of people, they're able to pick up on what that child or that person is saying. And for other people who aren't familiar with autism, they probably don't understand, if somebody's pointing or gesturing. But I think it's so important because people don't know that you can go from being nonverbal to picking up some more communication skills. Even if it's not words, you can learn how to, gesture, point, learn how to use your body in a way that you can convey a certain message. And you can also become more verbal. We talk a lot about skill regression, which is a thing with autism, where you are proficient or you're okay at doing a certain thing. And after a while, you start to forget how to do that thing. That's true. Skill regression is a thing, but skill progression is also a thing. It's like he was also a full-time employee. I think it's important for people to know that you can have a full-time job when you're autistic, because people often will default into helplessness and hopelessness, and they'll say, oh, I could never work because I'm autistic, or my child or my daughter, they can never have a job because of their limitations. Well, a lot of the limitations that we say that we have, we put on ourselves.
See that? We do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? We always say that they're not gonna be able to do that. You might be a parent that worry about your child. Don't think like that, right? You gotta be the one that's optimistic. You gotta be the one to take the time out. If nobody else understands your child, you gotta be the one that understand, and then you have to be the one to teach everybody else until your child is able to do that for himself, his or herself. Right? You gotta be the one taking your time to do these things, right? It's another one. I want to get. Let me go up to it. Let me find this thing. All right. Right here. Right. And she's gonna talk about how her child was communicating, right? And she just had to listen. So let's check this one out.
Your autistic children are telling you stuff through their YouTube shows. So when you're thinking, oh, that's so annoying, why are they playing it over and over again? Just stop and listen to what they're trying to tell you. Your non-speaking ones, right? So my autistic son was playing over and over the Miss Rachel Caterpillar song when we were in the car. And it was saying, the script he was playing over and over, caterpillar wrapped in your cocoon. You'll come out real soon. And he played that part over and over and over again. So I turned in the car and I looked at him and I touched him. And I said, do you feel like you're in a cocoon? And he went, ah! I'm trying not to cry. He's not speaking and I don't want my son to feel like he's in a cocoon because he can't express his words and he can't say everything that he needs to say, right? And then he would play over and over. Some people might say that you're a problem. Some people might call you strange. But caterpillar, hang in there, 'cause things are gonna change. Quiet little caterpillar, never saying can't. Never quiet little caterpillar. Soon you're gonna fly. Listen to what your autistic kids are saying to you and look at them and respond to what they're saying to you because they're telling you messages and they're reaching out to you. Another thing he played over and over. Nothing I do seems to fix it. 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 Caterpillar wrapped in your cocoon. You'll come out real soon. If you have an autistic non-speaking person and you think they're just playing something over and over, yeah, they do get stuck in loops. We all know that. But they're not always stuck in a loop. So listen to what they're saying. Respond to what they're saying. Because when I respond to my son, it's exactly what he's trying to tell me. And I want to acknowledge him. So presume competence with your autistic kids. Know that they're in there and know that they're trying so hard to communicate with you in other ways because they can't say it out of their mouth. So listen to what they're playing on YouTube. Silence your mind. Meditate so that way you can be open telepathically to them as well too. Do intuitive writing. Find different ways to communicate with your autistic non-speaking child because they're in there and they're screaming out trying to talk to you. I love you guys, autism parents. Talk to your kids like they're in there because they are. To all my autistic parents, and I'm gonna let you hear.
Right. So you gotta pay attention. If you're not paying attention, you're gonna miss it every single time. Right? You're gonna miss it every single time. Now we're gonna get I guess this is a so-called doctor, right? And he's explaining, I guess, the science side of things of why they can't talk now. Whether this stuff is true, I don't know. I'm not the expert, so I'm not gonna deny his claims, right? Because it makes sense to me, you know what I'm saying? Just him explaining it. But let's hear what this Edomite has to say.
So one of the biggest mysteries in the autism world is why don't they speak? We know through the use of spelling that most of these kids have all the words. So how can they have all the words but not be able to speak? It really comes down to understanding again what's happening in the brain. They don't feel their body. This is a sensory map that develops in what we call the parietal lobe. And in the right brain, we have an entire map of our whole body. We become a whole person and we become self-aware in our right brain. It's really important for us to be able to understand what other people are feeling and thinking as well. And then once we form a sensory map, when we know where parts of our body is, then we develop a motor map to move it. Now, if we look at the largest part of the map, it's the mouth, the tongue, and the lips, and the face. And what we see is many of the non-speaking kids, when they're spelling, tell us they don't feel their tongue. They don't feel their mouth. If they don't feel their face, they're not going to be able to speak. And that's literally what they tell us. Many of them also can't point or write or type. They know everything. All the words are there, but they can't speak, not because they don't have the words, but because they don't feel it. Because if you don't feel it, then you can't move it. And then they have what we call dyspraxia, and they're not able to move. They're not able to say the words. And this is important because if you want to change speech, if you try to work on the area on the left brain, which...
And let me pause that for a second. I'm going to go back a little bit. Right? The reason why I say I take this as some truth to it is because when you are speaking to your child, again, whether they can speak back, they'll respond a lot of times especially once they're old enough, they'll respond with action, right? Or with the noise, and they understand what you're saying, right? So this is why I say I can see why it's probably some truth to everything that he's saying, right? It could all be true, right? But hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't study the brain, things of that nature. But hey, I'm sure it's the truth, right?
On the left brain, which controls expressive speech, and you stimulate that, you're actually going to make it worse because around that area is also where you get tics and where you get OCD. So understanding this, and I remember I had one kid who was spelling, and I asked him why he couldn't speak. And he said, I don't see my body in my brain, and so I can't move my body, and especially this part of his body, his mouth and his tongue and his lips for speech. And that's the root cause of speech problems. And only if you understand this, do you have a chance of getting a child to speak. When they spell, they'll tell us over and over, please help me speak. And that's what our mission is. And we do that quite often. And it's one of the best things that we do here.
All right. So just taking that for what it is, as far as especially the last part, when he says that they say that they can't feel their tongue and their body, right? You have a lot of autistic kids that literally they hurt themselves, right? They'll have scratches all over their arms, right? Some of them may even bite their tongue, right? And it's really probably not even painful to them because of everything that this guy's saying, right? I've seen that with my own eyes. They literally hurt themselves, right? So let's see, right? So here's one of a young man that is scared to eat food. Like, I've never seen this in my life before, and I definitely don't have to worry about this with my son because he definitely gonna eat, right? So this is another part of the autism spectrum disorder. You know what I'm saying? That I have no idea, right? I have no idea about this, but when I was putting together this class, I learned about it, right? I had no idea it has something to do with food, that they're literally scared of food, right? So let me play this.
Cam, please, I'm begging you to put that in your mouth. Please, please.
You guys are. The internet is absolutely furious over this boy's dinner. People are screaming that it's abuse, while his own mother claims it's the only way to save him.
We really want you to do this at home, because if we can't get this done at home, we're going to have to get Hope Bears to help us.
Yes, and you won't ever buy me pizza ever for the rest of
I need you to eat other foods, baby.
Like,
you have to.
Like this one?
Just try it.
But no one could have predicted how...
You said what? You said something, my guy?
No, I ain't say anything.
Okay.
Oh, he was about to react. This is Cam, the food critic whose videos are tearing social media apart. He's autistic, and he lives with extreme sensory sensitivities that make most foods feel like a personal attack. But that brings us to the controversy tearing his followers apart. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0.5, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative... I don't think I'll complete this last step.
You can.
I don't think I can.
And breathe out.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I need 5 more of those. Okay.
It's okay. Come on.
I need a hug. Please.
Okay, put the fork down. Another time.
I don't think they'll able to do it. Okay, you cannot force. You're definitely welcome. Now I need water. All the water. All the water is dead.
But to understand why this is such a hot button issue, we have to look at the medical reality at play. For starters, he isn't overreacting. Cam is dealing with something called ARFID, or
See that? So it's something that's called ARFID, right? So, and he's gonna say what it is, right? But me, I would have looked at it like, man, you overreacting. It's just food. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would have seen that. But this is why you have to literally listen to your children, right? That young man looked scared out of his mind, right, to eat spaghetti. And we may look at that, you know what I'm saying? You have some idiots laughing, you know what I'm saying? If I was younger, I might have laughed at it too, right? But now, being in the position that the Most High has put me in, you know what I'm saying? You grow sensitive to certain things. You know what I'm saying? So you looking at this and you like, okay, yeah, my son don't have to deal with this, but if you're in a congregation, you may have some children that you're around, and let's just say, for instance, especially the sisters, because it's mainly the sisters that's fixing the plates. You may have one of the children, act like this. You know what I'm saying? And instead of looking at it in a weird manner, maybe this can be your eye opener and be like, okay, well, let me find his parents to see what they like. If they not around, let me pick up the phone and call them. Like, hey, what's going on? He's acting like this, so on and so forth. Like, we have to be patient with one another's children. We got to be patient with our own children and realize that these conditions is plaguing our community, right? It says so in the book of Deuteronomy that it will happen, right? So be aware.
starters, he isn't overreacting. Cam is dealing with something called ARFID, or Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. For people with ARFID, it isn't just being picky, it's a sensory disorder, where the brain perceives certain textures, smells, or flavors as a genuine threat to survival. When he eats something that triggers this, his body enters a fight or flight response. That's the gagging, sweating, and the visible panic. And that is exactly why the internet is up in arms. Critics argue that stimulating a child to the point of breakdown isn't exposure therapy, it's just trauma recorded for views. But on the other side, his parents claim they are just trying to help him expand his diet so he doesn't grow up with lifelong nutritional deficiencies. And actually, it's starting to work, because unlike his beef with spaghetti, his reaction to other food nowadays isn't as bad.
You know how to bite it? Bite it like this, like that, yep, and pull it out. Hey, there we go. That can work. What you think? Tell them what you think about it. What's it like?
It tastes like that piece.
Girl, we're making so much progress. This food journey.
Good then.
Just goes to show that whatever the condition, family will always be stronger.
Him and his family are just very toxic.
We need his phone number.
Let me get that out of there. I don't know what that crap is. Right? So, what else we got, right? I don't want to show that one, right? It was just on. I just explained it. Brother, young man was what they call stemming, right? In the car, you can equate it to a meltdown, right? Just in those cases, you got to be as calm as possible. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the one letting them know, grabbing them, hug them. You know what I'm saying? Hold them tight, talk to them calmly. You know what I'm saying? Him or her, talk to them calmly. Try to get them to calm down. When they stemming, if you have somebody that goes through that, right? You may not understand it. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody else's child, right? And they asking you to watch them and you know that they deal with that. If you're not able to do that, don't agree to watch their child at all. I don't care what that parent has to do. I don't care if they got to go to work, whatever the case may be. If you know that you can't handle this child you know what I'm saying, with this stemming issue, don't watch their children, right? Have enough love for that child and their parent, right, to literally know what you can and can't handle, because you can make that child worse. You can put that child through trauma, right? So I'm not gonna play that one, right? So let's go. I'm gonna play this one, right? Because it's just not as a child that they deal with this, right? This is also an adult, right? So in adulthood, this is what autism may look like in relationships.
Hey, babe, what's up?
Hey,
I'm hungry.
I ate already.
Good?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was starving when I got home.
Well, I'm catching up with my food right now. I hope the Vikings win because I need this for fantasy.
I hope they win because you're happy when they win.
What's wrong?
No.
Whoa, something going on?
No. It's just, it has a very, very strong smell.
What's
And then if you kiss me, that smell is going to pass on my lips, and then also the texture. And I don't like onion, and you ask for additional onion, and I can smell it from here.
You gonna make me brush my teeth before I kiss you?
Yes.
Are you for real?
Yes. Like, even right now.
And it's because they will feel like they're being attacked by an onion, right? Not because they think your breath stink, which when you eating onions, it's gonna stink anyway. But just saying overall, like we seen that young man, you think that smell of that food, the texture of it, you think that is a threat to your life, right? And I believe that they playing this out. I can't say that this woman is autistic or not. I don't know, but even if they plan it out, this is something that what it could look like as an adult. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a spouse that's diagnosed with autism, right? Because it may be something you may think that is normal. You may think that this woman or man is normal, and then when you start seeing certain behaviors, right, you just might have looked at it, oh, they just don't like to open up, or whatever the case may be. No, sometimes you got to dig. And that could literally be one of the things that's literally wrong. It's not that they don't like to open up. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they don't like affection sometimes. Some people are like that, but then there's the people with autism that grew up to be adults.
Okay. I got you. Oh,
Onions.
all right, I'll brush my teeth.
Onions.
You got a point, babe. You got a point. Hey, how have you been?
I don't know.
You've been kind of quiet. You okay?
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Are you good? You alright? You don't seem like you are.
I don't know. Everything feels weird.
Okay. Are you like anxious, or is it one of those depressed days? Like what's good? You sad? Are you sad about something?
No, like, I don't know, like anxious, like, I don't know, like just something feels, I don't know.
Okay. You don't know. All right. Okay. That's fine. You can just relax. Yeah. There's nothing really going on.
No, I said I was gonna make dinner.
Oh, it's Friday. You did say that, but I mean, how about we take it easy today? Let's just take it easy. So we'll actually I got an idea. All right, babe, today's one of those weird days. So I want to make things easy. I got my pizza from Pitfire. I know you don't like the pizza, so I got the salad for you. Let's just relax. Yeah. I'll finish up my work and we'll cut on the movie in a second, all right?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you for understanding me.
My pleasure. Yes, ma'am. If you're dating somebody who's on the spectrum, one thing that you should be aware of are the sensory sensitivities. At times, your autistic partner could be frustrated if you're trying to get close to them and you smell a certain way, or maybe you just ate something like onions and you want to kiss them. That could be pretty annoying. That could be frustrating for them. So I think this is why it's important to communicate ahead of time. Let somebody know what your aversions are, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, the things that really frustrate you. This can be a game changer when it comes to reducing arguments in relationships.
All right. So pay attention to your partners. All right. So for the sake of time, um, this sister here literally has 5 children. All 5 of her children is with autism. Um, you know what I'm saying? So she's dealing with it 5 times over. But the same sister, which is her here, this is her children's father. We know what the scriptures say, right? Now that goes into the genetic form of it. We know exactly that we're not supposed to make marriages with them. We have a different DNA than what they have, right? Rebecca, it was told to Rebecca that two manner of people are in our womb, right? So we shouldn't be mixing with them at all, whether it's man and woman or woman and man, right? Shouldn't be mixing with them, having children by them because birth defects can happen, right? But again, just going back to it, support your children, right? So this is also, I'm gonna play these two, right? They short, all right? So this is a mother and son, right? She's literally working on motor skills through dancing. All right, so it don't mean that your children can't dance because they autistic. It don't mean that you can't have a good time with them, right? They're not victims. They're not victims, right? Teaching them using the enemy's internet to teach them. Now watch this. Now he, of course, he knows how to talk, but just listen at this.
Olive Garden, what can I get for you? Yeah, can I just get a chicken Alfredo? Okay, did you want a super salad with that? Yeah, I'll take one. Super salad. Yeah, super salad. Yeah, super salad. Yeah, I want a super salad. I mean, what comes in a super salad? Did you want the soup or did you want the salad? Soup or salad? Oh!
All right, so they doing skits together, or what you call them thing, TikToks, right? She's literally just showing the different ways that you can literally use. Don't just have these things, stick these kids in front of a TV and just let them have at it, right? No, take the time out, use exactly what they're using. You know what I'm saying? Watch what they watch. You can put down damn Housewives for a day. You can turn off the damn the basketball game for a day, or for a couple hours, right? To spend with your child to see what it is they like, see how it is they communicate. Because when you don't, you always gonna have issues. You're gonna have troubles, right? So let me get a couple more scriptures, man, and then we can get up out of here. Right, so let's go to Psalm 73. Psalm 73. And I actually meant to change that because I want this in the GNT. I don't see GNT.
I don't think it got a GNT in that one.
No, that's all right.
You could try the NLT.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it because I know exactly what it says. All right. So let's get verse 26.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 26. My mind and my body may grow weak, but Yahweh is my strength. He is all I ever need.
All right, so we got to teach that to our children. You know what I'm saying? You're not some victim, right? Because you can't do what I do. How about we look at it as I can't do what you do, right? Our kids' minds ain't filled. The ones that deal with this issue, their mind is not filled with the toxicity of this world, right? But we know exactly what's going on, right? They may be somewhat oblivious to it, you know what I'm saying? But their mind is on a whole different level than what ours is, right? Their mind may not be able to perceive English. You know what I'm saying? Their thing may be the Hebrew, right? Hell, look at D Man with the Hebrew, right? How he's able to say he said definitely better than how I said, especially the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. I still don't know it. You know what I'm saying? So they may understand that it may come to them easier than what English does. You know, so they don't have to be filled with the poison that we have. We got a language that don't make sense. Yeah, that's probably why they can't speak it, because it makes zero sense. Right? Go ahead.
All right, 27. Those who abandon you will certainly perish. You will destroy those who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, how wonderful to be near Yahweh, to find protection with the sovereign Lord, and to proclaim all that he has done.
All right, so we got here to proclaim everything that he's done. We understand that we under curses and that he made us this way. But guess what? We ain't finna sit there and just fall down and cry because things is not right. Right? So let's go to Psalms 34 and verse 18. Verse
All
17
right.
and 18.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, and verse 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles.
All right, so if you really believe in your mind that your child can't talk to the Most High because they autistic, you got another thing coming. He probably communicates with them more than he communicates with you. Right? So they're crying out in their sickness. They're crying out. This is why they would use things how the one sister was saying that her child kept playing the song over and over and over again. Right? They're communicating. And it's the same way that they more than likely communicating with the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
All right. So when you got that broken heart, when you hear them diagnostics saying your child has autism, so on and so forth, it's all right. The Lord is with you and he's with your child. Right? He trusted you to raise a child that isn't quote unquote all the way normal or can't do the things of what we consider as normal. He trusted you to raise them. Right? So you gotta big up your britches, man, and stand on all 10 of your toes and raise these children of the Most High, and raise them in the way that they should go. All right, go ahead, verse 19.
Verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all.
See that? The Most High is gonna deliver us out of all of the afflictions that we have. So it's a light thing right now, right? It's a light thing right now. If all we is concerned about is having an autistic child, guess what? It's brothers that's dealing with worse. Some people can't even see their children, right? Whether it's they perish from off the earth, whether they went blind and they can't see their children, or their children blind and can't see them, right? There's a lot of things that would be, worse, right? So, verse 14, chapter 5, verse 14.
First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 14. Brothers and sisters, we urge you to
So,
warn.
like, start at verse 12 to 14.
All right, this is the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 12. Dear brothers and sisters, honor those who are your leaders in the Lord's word. They work hard among you and give you spiritual guidance. Show them great respect and wholehearted love because of their work and live peacefully with each other. Brothers and sisters, we urge you to warn those who are lazy, encourage those who are timid,
Mm-hmm.
take tender care of those who are weak, be patient with everyone.
Right. These are instructions. This is how we should be. Right. Be patient with everybody, because everybody we not on the same we on the same playing field, but we not all on the same level. Right. So just because I know something, I'm a certain way, don't mean the next brother's a certain way. Just because one child is a certain way, don't mean the next child is a certain way. Especially if you have multiple children,
Okay.
right? You may have one that's autistic, you may have one that's not, right? But you teach them and literally to how to be with their brother or sister, because it's gonna take a village. You not It's gonna be hard to do the work by yourself, right? It's gonna be hard to try to teach them everything by yourself. You gotta have your village backing you up, right? So my last one is Revelation 21, man. 21 and verse 4.
All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 4. And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Right? So it ain't gonna be no more autism, right? It ain't gonna be no more what is it called? P5 minus syndrome?
5P minus.
No, it's not gonna be none of that. Right? Ain't gonna be no more cancer, right? Ain't gonna be no more no ASL, no bone cancer. Ain't gonna be none of that. Right? But we just gotta stay the course and realize that we gotta go through these curses. These curses gotta strike us. It just lets us further know that we the people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, let's take joy in it that we going through these things, right? It may hurt from time to time, but remember the end goal is to get to the kingdom, to where we ain't gotta worry about nobody not being able to speak, right? Having a hard time with they I can't even get the word out, right? Having a hard time developing a brain development, right? We're not gonna have none of that. Ain't gonna be no more people that can't walk, can't see. So man, hey, I encourage y'all brothers and sisters that's, has a child, even a relative, what I'm saying, that's dealing with autism or um, any other thing that they have going on, right? I definitely encourage y'all, what I'm saying, to just stay the course, man. It's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all right. It's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? The Most High dealt you your cards, and you got to play with them. So I'll learn there.
Hey, I wanna add a few more scriptures, man.
Okay.
Hey, I just wanna add on this on the closeout because, hey, first and foremost, really good lesson. I pray that the Most High continue to put wisdom in you, and I pray that the Most High let this be edified to others that need to be listening. Right. So I want to go back because I'm going back from the beginning. I'm going to go back to Deuteronomy 28. Right. Start at verse 15. Right. Because, like you said, these are the curses. Right. This is the curses. This is how we know we are the people. But I want to go to 28 and 15 real quick. Let me get that real quick.
All right. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body.
Stop. That's what I want. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body. The Most High was not playing with us, and he's still not playing with us. He said, if it shall come to pass, if we won't listen to his commandments, that he was going to put curses upon us. See, when we don't know God, this is what God does. right? If you want the Most High to show out with punishment, he's going to pull up with punishment. He literally said, curse shall be the fruit of thy body. The fruit of the body is your children.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into. When you growing up, not knowing who God is, you don't know what the future holds up, right? You got to understand that the Most High has a job to do, rather bless you or curse you. Since we the children of Israel and we don't want to repent, and we still walking around and thinking that God is a joke, and then we still walking around that we don't want to hear the word of God, we still walking around even in the truth, still playing around, don't want to change and repent the proper way. The Most High said, curse shall be the fruit of thy body. So guess what? When we don't get ourselves right, as a nation, not just an individual, as a nation, the people that don't want to repent, you're putting curses on the children of Israel. You're putting autism on these babies. Why? Because you don't want to repent as a nation. You're making it hard for us, right? You're making it hard for the whole nation because you want to do what you want to do. So guess what? We would never have autism if we were obedient. We would never have 5P minus if we were obedient. We wouldn't have any kind of diseases if we weren't obedient. I mean, if we were obedient, right? We gotta pay attention that the Most High is not the man to play with. But we want to sit around and play games in his face and disrespect his name and disrespect his son like nothing gonna happen, and then we wonder why things is happening to our children. Right? And that's a nation problem, not an individual problem. That's a nation problem. Our nation is broken. So now guess what we got to deal with? We got to deal with children that's battling with things. And us that know better, we got to build them up. Because the world ain't going to build them up. They're going to tease them. Okay. We got to build them up. So while we playing games and don't want to repent, think about the next neighbor of the children of Israel. Maybe it might be someone in your family member that may bring an autism child in the world. Because of your wicked behind, choose not to repent. It ain't that you put the sin on the child. It's the fact you ain't acting right as a nation. We're supposed to be one nation, not a divided nation, one nation. We all act the fool. And we got to do better. 2/3, that's why 2/3 have to go. Because 2/3 playing around with these children. Right? So now let me go up 28 real quick. Because when you went to Revelation 21 and 4, go to 28 and I think it's 6. Go up. Okay. These are the blessings, right? Like what you said, ain't gonna be no more crying. 4. It's 4.
It's 4. Come. Verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Right, that's it. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body. If we kept the commandments, we wouldn't have to worry about autism. Okay. We wouldn't have to worry about 5P minus. We don't have to worry about any of the disease that he read in Deuteronomy 28:61. That he said he's going to put diseases that's not even written in the book. Right? These diseases don't belong on us. It goes on the heathens. But since we act like heathens, we take on their curses. Right? So we got Esau walking around here finding new medicine to inject our children. Mm-hmm. And this is why we're going and confused, because we're allowing the wicked, the most wickedest man, to put their hands on our babies and tell us a bunch of lies and saying that your baby needs to take these shots because it's going to help them with their immune system. But it's destroying their immune system. Let me get real quick. Isaiah 29:16. Because Esau, he has the time. This is all because of the curses. The Most High allowed that man to do that, right? The Most High allowed that to happen. So we got to find out, right? Go up, Salakia, verse 15.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 29 verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?
Right. Hey, the white man, hey, this is what the white man said. It ain't us who's doing that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what's in those vaccine shots. I'm just told what to do. You know good and well what's in those vaccine shots. Y'all all are in confederate against the children of Israel. The Bible prophesies about that.
Yep.
Y'all work hand in hand. I don't care if he's Amalek. I don't care he's just the regular Esau. They're the same. Esau is Esau. Amalek is Esau. The Russian man is Esau. The German man is Esau. It don't matter. They all in this. And those other nations that may not like Esau, but they can know how to deal with Esau when it comes to damage the children of Israel. So they always saying, who sees us? Nobody sees us. They act like the Most High don't even have eyes. They try to hide the counsel by telling us that it's nothing wrong for putting these things in the babies, and then they'll kind of blame you and say it's coming from a bloodline from you, but it's your system of your shot that you're putting in these babies. You try to blame everybody but yourself, right? Read verse 16.
Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he hath no understanding?
Right, because the Most High know how he made you. He knows exactly how you are, right? He knows exactly how you are. Right? So let me get one more. Let me get Psalms 94 real quick. 94, 7 and 9. You know what? No, I got one more after that. One more after that. Psalms 94, 7 and 9. Let me get that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 7. Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall Yahweh, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it.
Right, that's what they say. They shall not see what we do to them. Go ahead.
Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see?
Right, so the Most High see these things, he hear these things. So whatever Esau's planting, they thinking that they're doing it under the dark, but the Most High hear and see. He created you to do this. You are the punishment for Israel. But don't you know that you're not getting away with this? It's doomsday. You've been played. That's what it is. You've been played by God. That's why God hates you. He don't love you. He used you to get the children of Israel in line. You've been played by God. So you think that you're going to inherit a kingdom and the Most High just used you just to get us in line? He played you. And all praise to the Most High. As you thinking you played us, the Most High is playing you.
Okay. Hey, let me grab that for you real quick, just for your last one.
Okay, come on.
Cause I had it, but I left it there because I wasn't gonna go to it. Right here, verse 13. Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Right. That's who the sword is the wicked. The Most High uses them to be a sword, to whoop our butts. Right? Hey, if we don't want to keep the commandments, the Most High gonna put curses upon us and the children. But that's just to draw our attention, because we got hope at the end after this. Right? They have no hope. Let me get Obadiah real quick. Let me start at verse 6.
Okay. This is the book of Obadiah, starting at verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Right, because they all been, you thinking that we don't know, but everything is coming to the truth. So everything that the time when your kingdom is about to fall, we are hip to it now. We know exactly what you're doing. It's problems in that vaccination now. Most High exposed you. You've been set up. You thought you were winning. You thought that you were killing. You thought that you were doing the job, but the Most High knew you had pride in you. It was the Most High that allowed you to do these things. But go ahead.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Everybody turned their back against you. Go ahead.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
Right. So the men that you were at peace, they deceived you too because they know who you are. All nations know you the devil.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Ain't no understanding in Esau, right? Go ahead. We don't understand why you do the things you do. All we know is that you're just a wicked man. There's no understanding in you, right? Go ahead.
Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed.
That's still Esau. Go ahead.
To the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Every one of them going to be cut off by slaughter because of what you have done to God's people, what God allowed you to do. So I'm going to give you a secret. You've been set up by God to be put to death forever. So what you doing to these babies, it's going to be done to your babies, double. And guess what? It's nothing you can do about it, but just take it. And guess what? We get the last laugh. You got the last kingdom. We get the last laugh. And we get the real kingdom when Yahweh shall return, and I land there.
Okay. Amen. All praises. All praise to the Most High, y'all. So, hey, Most High willing, this reach who it needs to reach. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have people that y'all know, whether in the truth or out the truth, you know what I'm saying? Send them this video, especially if they deal with, if they have, children or family members that's autistic, you know what I'm saying? Hey, just deal with this, you know what I'm saying? Show them this. I'm sure there's other people that may have touched on this topic before too. And also keep doing the research. You know what I'm saying? Just keep looking up. They're gonna tell it to you right in your face. Right? They just gonna put it right there. You know what I'm saying? So all praise to the Most High. Yeah, man, I don't have nothing else. So we ain't got no type of announcements or nothing, do we? I don't think so.
No lie.
All right,
no,
so
well good class, brother. Well good class.
Okay, all praise to the Most High, y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all night. The rest of y'all night. Enjoy the Sabbath. Hey, Kwam Yasharala and Shalom, yo.
Oh, yeah, don't forget Priest is in the morning. Watch Priest class in the morning. And last but not least, pray for everybody. Not just your camp, but everybody from Israel. We are in the desperate matters of going through hard times. Continue to pray with one another. And I mean that from the bottom of my spirit, from the Most High to everybody. Pray for everyone. Shalom.
All right, Shalom.
Please don't leave. Please don't leave me. Please don't go. Yeah. Cause I done fell off again. My bad decisions got me in a place of distraught again. Look in the mirror, I don't look the same. I guess I'm weird in my thoughts again. Try to dress it up, make it look pretty. Silently crying so no one can hear me. And I can't come to the phone. Just please leave me alone. Really, I'm scared. Don't wanna tell you I'm living in sin. The Most High forgave me of my sin. Don't wanna tell you I did it again. Nah, I just need to repent. I know, get up, try it again. Righteous, Abba, please help me fight this. Whatever you do, don't take your spirit. Whatever you do, don't take your love. You can take anything from me, but I need you.
Yeah. Father in heaven, I'm having a crisis. You know how heavy this life gets. Fight the flesh with a tight fist, but I'm getting tired and I might slip. Might fall, but I don't trip, cause you in control of my soul. So if any day I'm feeling hot or cold, I know you controlling them both. Just see a righteous man fall 7 times when I'm on fall number 88. I would've died in the hands of man, but it's all praise, I would give me grace. Father, free me from my willing ways. I wanna see the 12 pearly gates. I fought the fight and I kept the faith. Christ took the charge, first 48.
Don't take your spirit. Whatever you do, don't take your love. You can take anything.
Take anything,
from me, but I need you.
Yeah. Hallelujah. I get it, I'm weak in the flesh and I had to admit it. Had a cheat sheet for the test and I still fell short while bearing your image. Back to the trenches from chemist, you feel a lot different about sin when you in it. I can have plenty of riches like Saul, but what's life if I'm dead in the spirit? Repeating my sin like a parent, forgive me for being a burden. Repent to the great physician, don't cut me off like a surgeon. Save me from the Medes and Persians, keep my gaze from the reach of the virgin. Everyone don't have the privilege of serving, I just wanna hear well done with the verdict. Good and faithful servant.
Father, I sinned
again,
over and over again. Have mercy on me.
Have mercy.
I'm begging you to wash me clean.
Make me know
living without you ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it
when I don't feel your presence, I get nervous. Here's my heart, purge it. And I know that I deserve it, but whatever you do, don't take your spirit. Whatever you do, don't take your love.